and welcome back. I am so excited to be dressed up in my grandma core finest today. We are trying an old lady theme and I am so excited for it. I feel like grandma is just the ultimate in cozy vibes and I don't know, I'm just so here for it. I'm a little bit of a grandma as it is in real life, and I feel like there's something about grandma core that is just so cozy gamer to me. I had so much fun looking for all of the codes for this build and just trying to find all of the crafty, old lady types of vibes. I wanted this to be super natural, but I was a little bit worried that it was going to be a little too cottage core. So definitely let me know in the comments below if you think that I just made a cottage core build or did I capture the essence of grandma in, a sufficient way. I did want there to be a little cliff background just to kind of frame the area. It is actually one of the smaller entrance builds that I've done since I started this entrance series, and because of that it was super fun to make. It was very low pressure and I feel like it came together really quickly, and I just really enjoyed the entire process of making it. So I really hope you enjoy the process of watching it. But I will mention that all of the codes that I use in this build are saved in my Pinterest under the board Grandma Core. They're also in the description box below, but obviously some of you might want to see the actual pictures of the codes you're going to download. So my Pinterest has so many Animal Crossing codes, so if you're just looking for inspiration in general for different themes, I highly recommend checking it out. I have been a little bit of a fiend over the last couple of years, just saving every adorable code that I could possibly find. I just love Pinterest. It's seriously the greatest. But for this build, I already said I wanted it to be pretty natural, but I also wanted there to be lots of really soft tones, which is why I'm using so many wheat fields everywhere, because I just feel like that color tone just feels grandma to me for some reason. I am going to be using white flowers, which I worried so much was going to make this too cottage core-y, but again, I want to be kind of soft, neutral, old lady. But I did want to make this a quilting, sewing kind of theme for the entrance, which I feel like is very grandma. My Nana actually taught me how to sew when I was little, and I used to sew little clothes for my dolls and things like that. And yeah, so I just feel like sewing, quilting is just the ultimate in grandma technology, and I'm so here for it. But I'm just mapping out how I want the cliffs to go right now. I really like when there's both water features and trees on the cliff, so I did have to do a little bit of trial and error, just kind of making enough space to have both of those elements in this build. Ultimately, I love the way that it turned out. If you're struggling with terraforming, I highly recommend just trying to round out all of the corners for everything that you do. And for whatever reason, when the corners are rounded, I don't know, it just makes everything look more cohesive and natural and pretty. So I really struggle with terraforming as well, especially larger areas. So this particular area actually came together so nicely because it's actually pretty tiny. So if you are like me and you struggle, stick to really tiny little areas, and then, as you get more comfortable, maybe branch out a little bit or don't, just do whatever feels good. I am super obsessed with this tiny little bridge though. I think the mini bridges that are only 3x3 are so freaking cute. I love them, and there's just something about having the little bridge off to the side that I think frames the area so nicely. So I was very excited how that all came together. And then I'm just planting a few trees on the other side of the cliff here and trying to think of some sort of grandma items to incorporate on the cliffs as well, because I love when there are little decor items in the background on the on the little cliffs. Sometimes I get so lazy when I'm decorating and I just fill it up with the wheat fields and flowers and bushes, but honestly when I put a little bit more effort in and I find a few little cutesy items to put up there, I feel like it really brings so much life to the build. So does incorporating the pine cones and acorns and shoes and socks and little tiny items like that. I just think that they add so much dimension to a build. So if you're struggling to fill up the space on your island, I highly recommend incorporating those little items. But look at how cute those codes are. I'm obsessed with the doily and the teacup and just those tiny little sprinkle codes. I don't know, they just fill up the area and they add so much life to the build. But here I am jumping off of the cliff and heading into the main sort of area of the build. How freaking cute is Agnes? I feel like Agnes is very grandma core coded, and she was just like all about this build. She was all up in the area, and she's just so freaking cute. I adore her. But for the main little feature of this build, I'm using a gazebo as the background, and then I'm going to use 3 simple panels to kind of make like a little cottage. I'm imagining that this is grandma's she shed, you know, like she's got her, you know, equipment in there for all of her little cozy hobbies, and it's just like tucked in the back of her garden. And yeah, it's just her little she shed. I love it. I feel like my dream is to have a little shed in the backyard that's just full of books and crafts, and it's just like a little hideout area. I keep seeing people on social media sharing like their bookshelf in their, or their like library in their backyard, and I think that concept is so freaking cool. Like imagine you just have like a tiny little room in your backyard that you can go hide in that's just filled with cozy hobbies and just like awesome vibes. Are you kidding me? That is my literal dream. I wonder if I could build one from scratch. I feel like that would be kind of insane, and I need to quit building things right now because I have just been a project fiend lately, and it's getting a little bit out of control, which gets me to where I've been for the last 2 months. So I decided on kind of a whim, sort of random, to renovate a bathroom in my house that desperately needed renovation. In fact, the bathroom was so bad that there's a bedroom attached to it that I didn't even use when I got my house because it was just like so badly in need of repair that I just left the room empty. So I finally got sick of having an empty room in my house that I don't use, and I completely gutted the bathroom, moved walls, moved plumbing, moved electrical, like just went absolutely crazy and completely redid the space. I did post a few photos over on my Twitter, but I'm so proud of it. I'm a little Bob the Builder girly now. I can't even believe that I managed to figure it out, but that's where I've been the last couple of months, and I've got to say I am so incredibly relieved that the project is over. I'm so proud of it, but at the same time that type of work is so exhausting, and I can't wait to get back to playing Animal Crossing and making cozy content and reading and doing Legos and painting and just not doing manual construction labor for the foreseeable future. So yeah, it was a good time, but I'm very glad that it's over. Honestly, we're getting pretty close to the end of the build right now. I'm just throwing in some finishing touches and of course adding some more things onto the cliff. I'm kind of curious if anybody actually knows what that bath bucket is really used for, because I do not. Like I literally have no idea what that thing is supposed to be, but it kind of felt grandma-y to me for some reason, so I went ahead and threw it up there. But I was really kind of struggling to see what to put on the side of this table because I felt like this whole build just looked like incredibly unfinished. And so since it's just an entrance that we're doing today, I decided to just like cover this area in little trees. And I honestly think that it frames the area so well. If this were a full like island that I was going to do in this theme, I would probably like add a tiny little path off to the side. But for this simple little build, I think this looks so freaking cute. And look at my little gnome guy in there. Isn't he adorable? I just feel like that's the epitome of grandma core right there, is just like weird, eclectic, fun little things like that. But yeah, I think adding the trees to the side just made it look so much more finished, and it really is giving me like cottage in the meadow crafting area. I don't know. I really hope you guys like this build. I feel like I've been really stepping out of my comfort zone in so many ways with trying all these different themes, which gets me to what kinds of themes would you like to see me do next? So we've tried kid core, we've tried city core, we've tried grandma core, obviously. And I feel like we've tried one other core, and I literally cannot even remember what I've done at this point. Oh, we did desert core. Oh my gosh, that build was so much fun. How could I forget that? I do have a list of other themes that I'm kind of excited to try, perhaps. Like I'm thinking of like a witch school. Is that something that you guys would be interested to see? Like a little witchy, you know, all girls, I don't know, like giant cathedral church type of vibe. I don't know. That's something that I've been kind of thinking about, but I really want to know what themes you guys would be interested in seeing next. I think I have a few more entrance builds left in me before I'm ready to move on to another series. I'm kind of shooting to get through like maybe 10 different themes, and I think we're about halfway there right now. I think this one is number 5, maybe? I don't know. I'm horrible at keeping track of things. So yeah, if there's one that you're desperate to see, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to incorporate it before we move on to another little series here on the channel. I am excited to eventually get back to dedicating my time to making an actual full island in one theme, but I don't know. For now, this feels very nice and very good. I did decide to move the windmill over because the background just kind of looked a little bit funky, and so I'm just throwing down a beach towel up here and then like a little basket type of thing, and I'm imagining that grandma comes up here just to kind of like relax and read her book and just, you know, have some horizontal time, which we all desperately need. But here we are at the finished build. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this one. It was so much fun to make, and I love the little cottage. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful day or night, and I will catch you very soon in the next video. Thank you guys. Bye.